Hey everybody, Edo here, and this is Scoville by Ed Marriott with art by Joshua Capel. And interesting story, I've been bugging TMG for a copy of Scoville for a while now, never got it, but I've been doing a hot sauce thing, the Hot Ones Hot Sauce Challenge, or whatever you want to call it. I did that for my top 10, and I have had my fair share of outrageous Scoville peppers, right? And to play on word, it's the Scoville as in the ranking of hot peppers, and Scoville as this village or town we are working in. But actually, I was talking about it on a video, and Keith Mateka your money, is an awesome guy, and he just bought and sent me this copy. So thank you, Keith. I appreciate it. And he's not affiliated with TMG, to my knowledge. But I've been wanting to play this game, and play it I have. And I have to say, if you wanted a game that could simulate the burn of a hot pepper, this might be it. It has some serious brain burn in this game, but actually, it's really well done. I like this game a whole lot. I think it's a fun game, worth playing. It does have some brain thinking you got to play through, but if you're okay with that, I highly recommend it. If you don't like thinky games, don't let the cute cover fool you. This is a thinky game. Now, the best thing about Scoville, besides these fantastic looking peppers in all shapes and sizes, even the see-through one, is how easy a game it is to explain and play. It really has a fantastic base design that it builds on. So how do you play? Well, you are pepper farmers, and you are making and growing peppers, and you're all on the board, and you're going to be walking around planting these peppers. It starts with an auction phase. Everyone has money in this game, and you can get more of it, but you're going to put your hand out, say, I want to go first, or I don't care. You flip. Whoever spent the most money gets to decide, gets first choice on where they want to be, and everyone's going to, sort of based on their money, move here. One of the neat mechanics in this game is based on the phase, the player order, so when you plant, it goes in the order of the auction, but when you harvest, it goes in the reverse order. So it's a nice dynamic, actually, to have alternating turn order within a round. I really like that. But so that first auction is, there are a bunch of cards at the top, and you just get the pepper. So if you really want green, you might put a higher number out, or if you really want a blue and a red, you put a higher number out. You'll notice there are these blue cards and these green cards, both on the auction side and over here in the market. There's sort of a morning and afternoon, basically at a point in the game when you're sort of 2/3 of the way through. If somebody hasn't won yet or used up all of the cards, you'll switch to the afternoon phase, and these are just better stuff that you can get, higher level. So it basically says, well, you're about 2/3 of the game through, let's bump everything else up. So that's how auctioning works. Market, you have a bunch of market cards that are laid out that give you money, other peppers, or victory points, and you basically just give them what they want over here, and you get what's over here. So you can convert peppers to other peppers. The victory points in this game are flames, and you'll get flames, and you might get some money out of it. So this is a really good way to get more money. In fact, the only way to get more money. So you can get that from the market phase. Pretty sure. Victory points are the flames. You get them for money you have at the end of the game, and you get them for a few other things. So that's how those work. Then you have these placards. These placards go to the first player who plants that type of pepper. Really straightforward, worth victory points. And then you have recipes. Recipes are really simple. They're bigger cards, but they just have a number of peppers in them, and you trade those peppers in for the victory points. So trade peppers in for victory points, trade peppers in for other peppers, money, and perhaps some victory points for planting, and then some free peppers up here. Those are the major parts. Now, what's the gameplay? The gameplay is basically, first you plant. You have peppers in your hand, and they have little shields so people can't see what you have, and as you get leveling up, you're getting more, but you're going to take a pepper, and you just place it anywhere on the board where it's adjacent to another pepper. So I can't go over here, but I can just keep growing out, and all the players that do it. Also plays 2 to 6 players. I have not played this game with 6 players. I suspect it's rough. I think it's so brain burny as you go that a 6-player game, you might just be like staring at the ceiling, just like waiting. But certainly with 4 it was fine. But 4, 3, 2. Again, I didn't play in the higher play counts. I do think that might, again, just be slow. Because with 4 players, you're like, come on, come on. You have that that desire to like suggest moves to other players. You know the games when you do that? When I do that. But, so you plant, and everyone takes a turn doing that, straightforward. Then maybe somebody blocks you. But then you harvest. And harvest is a move where you're going to move your farmer. You can move him 3 spots. You just can't turn back on yourself. So you can't go one way and then like flip and go back unless you use a special card. But you're going to move around the garden, and when you come between 2 peppers, you get this chart. Everyone has a copy of it. There's actually the entire game on the back, but you use this chart to figure out what you get. So when you're between 2 reds, you're going to look between 2 reds, and that earns you 2 red. If you stand between 2 reds, you earn 2 reds into your hand. But if you're between a red and an orange, you are going to look and see that you get a brown. If you're between a black and a white, you're going to get the elusive see-through ghost pepper. So, first-time players, second-time players sitting through here are like doing this lookup. So you're like trying to figure out where to place while doing this lookup. And over time, you understand how it works. The lower level stuff is just sort of primary and secondary colors, or doubling up on primary. Then you get into this brown region, and then you figure out that it's the secondaries together that get you the white and black peppers. You start to figure it out, and over games you get it. But boy, there's still a lot of referencing as you go, and it's one of the things that really slows this game down. Talk about a game that could have a really great app, perhaps, that showed you the options as you went. So, harvesting, you're collecting more and more sophisticated peppers. Anyone can walk around. You can't walk through each other, but like, just because I planted something doesn't mean I'm the only one who's going to get it, that kind of thing. Then you have fulfillment, which is when you use your stuff to go to, you can buy a market card, or you can get a recipe, and that's it. You go again. Also, huge kudos to the team. How to play really is on the back of this card. All of the different player counts are listed in all of the different areas, indicating how many cards you should use and all the secondary rules. After you learn how to play this game, you really have just about every piece of detail right there in front of you, and I really thought that was well done. The graphic design here is outstanding. The mechanics are fun. It works. You just get to this point where you've got this complex board, and you're working through so many permutations. It's hard not to. It's one of those games where you have to sort of give up on the idea of being perfect. You have to sort of say, you know what, I just want to have fun. I think this is probably a better move. It might not be the best move, but I'm getting tired of waiting on my brain. 5 Tribes isn't a game that has AP, analysis, paralysis like that. I think this one's worse than 5 Tribes, assuming you don't walk away from it. Having said all that, it's hard not to really be delighted by the game. It has a really nice look, feel. The theme is so well done. It feels unique. It really just works. It's just going to burn your brain a little bit. But it's a hot pepper game, so maybe that's the intent. Other little quibble is to sort of make all these all these peppers are the same shape. So to sort of differentiate them a little outside of color, they make them different lengths, which sort of gets ridiculous when you get really long. It helps a little, but for sure, from across the board, the red, orange, and brown are really close, and on the cards they can be really close. So if you're colorblind, not great. I think it's problematic, especially from a distance. I think it's a weakness of the game, and if they did a reprint, I'd really hope that they put little symbols on the peppers to help. Oh, one last thing. Each player gets a one-use action token thing worth points at the end of the game if you don't use it, but it lets you plant twice. It lets you like turn around or have an extra step while harvesting. Just like that little, when you want to go that little extra combo to do something neat. Not too much to take that. So again, I really like this. Even after playing it a bunch, it still is taxing, and for new players, it's really taxing. So the first time I played with it, I really thought it was a gateway game. It teaches like a gateway game, but it isn't, and it holds you back because of the complexity of just like looking up this chart and figuring out what you need to do. But Anyway, it's worth checking out. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.